So my next question would be, and your first response was a really great response, so thank you. As a Dominican woman, what were the core values which were instilled as growing up? I'm going to present you a list, and you'll let me know on a scale which ones were more important and which ones they didn't they didn't matter. So the first one would be self-direction, stimulation, conformity, tradition, hedonism in aspects of enjoying life, benevolence, universalism, power, security. So, growing up, were any of these like, because these are common values, in all cultures, but which ones stuck out to you?
Especially in my home, the self-direction, I could say, I was very emphasized a lot by my mom.
Mm-hmm.
And then later on, my grandma took care of it. It's like how important it is to take care of your home.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the first thing you worry about. It's your home, your family members in your house. And
Mm-hmm.
that could be your extended family, because sometimes you have a lot of family
Right.
with you. But it's like the roots of something. If your home is set straight and everything is well at home, then everything else will fall into place. But you can't have craziness going on in your home and then think that your life is gonna fall straight. For instance, my mom was always like, first thing you do when you wake up, do your bed. And I'm here like 5 years old, like I don't want to do my bed. I just want to go, go to school. Like that's not my job. Yes, it was. It is your bed. You sleep in it. You fix it. And little things like that were always instilled in me. And then when I got older, it was the meals. You prepare your meal. You prepare for your sister. You prepare for your dad. You don't just cook for yourself.
Okay.
You live in a home. You cook for everyone, even if they're not there at the moment. You cook for everyone.
Ah, I see. So family is a big thing.
So it was your job as the woman to make sure that everyone at the house was taken care of.
Oh.
So that was something that always stayed with me.
Well, that's common. That's common with my culture, in Jamaican culture. Is that family's big. Take care of food, like your grandmother. If you live with your grandmother would be the matriarch, where she would prepare food and stuff like that. So what about like the other values? Like we talked about self-direction, and we also talked about tradition. Was conformity or power and security? Were any of those?
This is a funny thing, because at home I was always led to believe like my father was the man, he's the one, and I always felt like my mom conformed to him. I was like, why are you telling whatever? But it was a balance that I didn't understand when I was young. In a marriage, there's a balance. There's some that do, there's some that say. And younger, I always felt like my mother was my father's tail. Like whenever he spoke, she did. But there's a balance there. My father did work hard, and he did come home to a clean home, a nice warm meal. But my sister and I also were privileged to go to private school. And we weren't able to do that if my father didn't work hard. And we always had a home, our home was always organized. And we wouldn't have that if my mother wasn't home. You know what I'm saying? So there was a balance there. But at first I thought it was my mother conforming to her. Like I always felt like, you should do whatever you want. And she'd be like, no, I first have to take care of the house, and then I'll, take time for myself.
And do you think that these values are traditionally Dominican, typically Dominican, with like your friends and your family with the same background, or?
I do believe that a lot has to do with being Dominican. My family mostly were all Catholic, which comes to matrimony, comes to husband. As the Bible says, you honor your husband, you honor your home, things like that. So I do believe a lot of it has to do with the fact that we were raised in very traditional ways. I mean, very Dominican ways, even though we were in New York. It has a lot to do with that. Because then when my other generations of family, my cousins were getting married or living together, it was very strange for them. Like, well, how can you live with a man if you're not married? And that was the Americanized. Like we were getting Americanized. That's what they would say to us. The later generation. Like, you can't live with a man if you're not married. Like, yes, you can. How do I know I want to marry him? So that was a reverse there.
So religion is also a big thing within your culture, like to follow.
Every sentence starts with Jesus. Oh God, oh Jesus, and everything else, but just ask God, or just ask Jesus. That's very, very important.
So do you think that those values actually have stayed with you
as
an adult?
They definitely have. Like I said, I grew up in the Catholic Church. I went to Catholic school. At the time, as being a kid, I always was annoyed. Like, I don't want to wear a uniform. I don't want to go to church on Sunday. I just want to sleep in. But those are the roots that I think made me the person I am today. The values that I have, straightforward, the seriousness sometimes the seriousness that I take things, how I take things. So I do believe that. Now looking back, I do appreciate the fact that I was raised in my church and I had those values instilled in me when I was younger. Made me a lady.
Oh, this is great. Okay.
I love tongue twisting.